Hello. Today I wanted to take you through how you can use Facebook or Instagram, really any of these social media platforms to boost your ads. And I wanted to give you a little bit of insight into that and what I do to quickly get a little following going. I do make a little investment, so I do pay for some ads to get followers into a Facebook group first. And that way, once you have 100 followers, you're able to do so much more within the group. And also, you'll have a little following. So these are people that are targeted. They're people that they've decided to follow your group. They're in the group now and they're more likely to want to purchase something from you, right? Or to even interact in your community if you have a membership, whatever you decide to do for your digital product or your course. So I wanted to share my screen and go into Facebook with you and show you what I do to get started. And so I'm going to give you a little bit of an example here. This is a investing course that I created earlier this year, and I just started getting followers into this group. And so what you want to do is, use Canva to your advantage. You can see here that I've created in Canva a background image, and you can always change this image and test different images out. But you want to put the name of your group or of your course in nice bold letters, something that's easy to read, and put that in Canva because once you load this into Facebook, this itself, Facebook will start to prompt you and ask you, do you want followers for this group? And a lot of times it will use this background image, this cover image, as like an image for the ad itself. Okay, so this is something very important to think about. Like, how do you want this to come across? I would say make it look fairly professional. Come up with some brand colors, for yourself if you haven't already. That's not really something we get into in this course, but it is something to think about to make yourself look professional and think about who you would want to attract, right? So with this course in particular, I picked this kind of teal color, the white color, and the black color as my basic branding colors. And I find that I do get both men and women in this group following, and it does depend on the ad, which I'm going to show you guys so that you can see, what type of people get attracted to what kind of ads even. All right, so as you can see here, I've already started loading up some helpful things. I'm posting in here, and so I am sharing some of the tips that I use for investing. These are cheat sheets and checklists that I've created. Actually, they're inside the course. And so I just pull things that I've already created in Canva for the course. Sometimes I'll pull, a little tip sheet or something and take a snapshot of it on in my computer. And you can do that in Canva very easily. You can turn, one of your checklists into a PDF or into a JPEG, like an image, and save that on your computer. And then you can share that. And so you can see I have these kind of checklists and cheat sheets. And then I also am constantly including my MailChimp link to the newsletter where they can get signed up. So once you get your email list created in your email client server like MailChimp or ConvertKit, you can have a little mini series in there. We get that into that in this course where, I encourage you to create like at least 3 to 5 automation emails so that when someone clicks on this link, they go in there, they sign up, they get a freebie, but they also are now signed up on your newsletter and they're going to get even more information from you. So if they're not always visiting Facebook, you've got them on your email list and they'll be getting emails from you. Okay. And people who are signing up for, like, let's say they're a follower in your group or they're now following you through email, those are people who are warmed up to you. Okay, so you can start sharing things with them that you want to create for them, just like these digital products, to help them in their journey. So you want to be thinking about, their pain points and the things that they're having trouble with, or, things that they want to learn from you. And a great way to figure that out is by posting in say, in your Facebook group or even to your email list, and to be paying very close attention to what things people heart or like, or what titles in your email grab attention. So really pay attention to the things that people click on, what they like and what they're interested in. And then you can start creating products that get more into that are a little more detailed and helpful for them. So I'm just showing you here. These are some of the things that I've done, that I'm playing around with. You want to get really creative when you're getting into ads and boosting. And so what I'm showing you here is just, these are some of the things that I've posted within the Facebook group, just as kind of starter items, sharing my journey and welcoming them in. That's important too. But then also including little freebies. This is a guide that I created in Canva. Okay, that's just the first page of the guide. But again, when they click on this, they can get this freebie, which is this guide. Now, what you want to notice here is that for each of these posts, there's a boost button for each post. They also have these boost buttons in Instagram. Most platforms have these kind of like boost, items. This is how you can easily create an ad to get to more, really to like get to the followers that are already in this group, but also to get to the targeted audience that you're looking for. So you're more likely to get traffic if you're able to boost your ads. And this is a great way to get some traffic to you right away, as opposed to posting like this, which is very organic, just posting. A lot of these platforms will not share, unfortunately, not anymore. They used to. Back when Facebook was kind of new, you could post something and they would blast it out to everyone, but they've wisened up to this. So now they charge you, they want you to pay if you're going to try to reach more people. Okay, so you want to take advantage of that. Now, what you'll start to see when you do boost these is that some things work and some things don't. All right. So right away, I would say within a week or two of boosting and paying for daily, for this to be boosted daily, really go in every day and check your insights and see what things are working, what things aren't, and have a goal in mind. So in this case, my goal was to get at least 100 followers in this club so that I could do a few more extra things in this Facebook group and also be able to reach a little set of people, right? I want to be able to warm up some people, get them in here, start posting to them regularly and consistently, and have them interacting, as a community. So it's a great way to get that going really quickly. Okay, and so I'm going to show you in the Ad Center. I'm going to go to that next. and show you this ad center. So for each of your pages that you create in Facebook, you'll be able to design ads or create ads. And if you go in there, you'll basically be able to go in and pick photos that you've created, photos that you have in your computer, or you can create some branding or designs, graphic images in Canva even, which is what I've done here. And I'm going to show you the results from testing out some of these. The first thing I want you to see is that I decided to test out many different ads all at once. So I was curious to see what things, like what ads would attract attention like very quickly. And I wanted to be able to compare the results. And so what I did was I went ahead and allowed for each of these to be targeted to an audience that Facebook starts to, it's like an automatic audience that they provide for you. You can also pick the audience. So you could choose to just have the ad targeted to just women. You can pick the age range, of the women. You can even pick keywords of, that would describe the women. So you can get really detailed. Now, I like to when it's a new group and if it's something that is, fairly broad, like investing would be okay for women and men, right? And for people really of any age. You are going to start to see that narrow down as Facebook starts sending these ads out. And it starts to see, okay, like more men are signing up or more men are clicking on this, and then more men in this age range. So, you may want that. You may want to see, like, okay, what audience is actually warming up to this type of group. You may want to see that, or you may want to make the choice and say, no, hey, Facebook, I want both women and men included here. So, you can clarify that, okay, in the ad center. But what I want you to notice here is that, this is a small image, and I'll click on some of these so you can see the bigger image that I created. I made all of these in Canva very quickly, very easily. I used, colorful backgrounds, and I used some clip art and just wording that I knew, would talk to and speak to my ideal client. But what I want you to see is that right away, I spent $7 on this particular ad here, and I wanted it to get page likes. Okay, so I wanted people to like follow and click on and like the page. And so I ended up getting 13 followers from that $7 here. You look down here, this was just under $7 and I got 16 on this one. Okay. So you could actually get your calculator out or a spreadsheet and you could start tracking these results. You could see that, okay, right away, this one tended to grab more people for a cheaper price. And that's the whole point here is it's okay to vary your ads, but you do want to start paying attention to what ads are working. And I would say for the cheapest price, okay? Because if you're spending less to get more people, that's a win to me. So, as you can see, this was just a little bit more, just over $7. I got 16 on this one as well. And we'll just keep going so you can see this was a white background ad, and it was to invite people into this free financial literacy group. Just over $7. I get 24 followers from that. This one's also just over $7 and got 18. And some of these look very similar, okay? Like these two look very similar, but I tested out having people go to the page to like it, and I got 18 followers. And I tested out having people click on the website, okay, to go straight to my website. and to my website is designed in a way that it's almost like a sales page for the investing course that I've created. So I'm getting eyeballs, okay, just by paying like almost $5 here. I got 10 people to go and take a look at that website. Now, I have to perfect and, get to that point where what I've written in my copy on that website is enticing them enough to purchase this product, that's on there. But you can also have other things on that website. So you could have freebies on there, resources, blog posts, videos, webinars. You could turn it into a membership on there. You can have so many things that you're introducing people to. And also note here that you can edit these. So you can always change, the link that people go to. So if you start to see that one of these is working, but you would rather send people to, say, another page where they can sign up for a freebie, you can do that. Okay, so there are a lot of options here. But I just want to show you a couple of these others. Now, these were interesting. So I ended up Facebook will start recommending, like it will share, try to encourage you to use things that you've already posted. So I had this background. Remember at the very beginning of this video, I was talking about that cover image that was at the very top of my Facebook page. And that is this image here. And Facebook, sure enough, started to ask me, hey, do you want us to create an ad for you? And when I said, okay, yes, please show me like what is it that you want to, create for this ad, Facebook pulled this image, this cover image as the ad. And they just started to say, hey, we're going to just try to get your page some likes. And I said, okay, I'll give it a try. So I spent $17 and I got 35 follows from that. Okay. You can set the duration. So you can decide you just want to do this for 5 days and you just want to spend 2 or 3 or $5 a day. You can decide how much you want to spend. This is the beauty in this, that you get to decide. You're not pushed or forced to spend at least $100. You can just, you can even pause it. Let's say that you choose to do 5 days to start, and you're like, by the second or third day, you're like, yeah, this isn't really working out. I'm not getting any follows from this particular like thing that I've created, this graphic or whatever. And I think I want to try something else. You can pause that ad if you want to. Okay. You don't have to do the whole duration of time, which is really nice too. So it's not like a huge investment here. It's not like you're going to end up spending hundreds of dollars to start. I just would encourage you to try some and to start with something. Now, this one down here, the very last one, was one of my posts that I had in the Facebook feed. It was the guide post. And so you can see here I spent $10 and I got 40 clicks to that link for the freebie for people to go and sign up to get this guide. And then what you'll see is that a percentage of people will go to that page for the sign up. And from there, some people sign up, some people don't. Okay. You can also have it go to, let's say, a page on your website where you just have that freebie on there, and it's just a freebie. It's a giveaway. It's not like you're asking for their email. But I like testing things out. So in this particular case, I have this leading to an email sign up page that says, hey, if you want this freebie, please put in your email. And so I test things out like this. So you can try doing that, or you can try just giving them the freebie. And inside the freebie, have links to your products or have links to your course. Okay, so it's like funneling people directly to your product. And I'm going to say to you, the less steps, the better. So if you're able to test out an ad and have people go right to a sign up page for your product, that's even better because there are less steps then. But if you want to, if you have a goal in mind, like I did for this particular group, I wanted to start this Facebook group because I want to create some traffic within the group. I want to warm up an audience and I want to be able to list links to products in that feed in that group. These people are going to already be warmed up to the idea. They're already thinking about wanting to invest. They want to grow their money. They want to learn more about budgeting and, all kinds of things related to investing. So this is a perfect way to do that. Now, I can also play with doing it organically by just creating new posts in that group. And if I notice that a couple of people hearted the post that are in the group, that would be a great post to boost. Okay, so if you start to see some traction on a particular post, go ahead and boost it and test it out and see if you can get people, have a goal in mind from there, right? See if you can use that post to do different things. Maybe you want to get people to sign up for your freebie, or maybe you want to send them right to a course link, a sales page or a landing page. So I'm going to say to you, test this out. Ads are amazing. You can spend a little bit of money just to kind of get yourself rolling, even if you've got this digital product you put your time and energy into. You're probably excited to get it out there. You want more eyeballs on it. You want people coming to visit you, and ads are a great way to get that going right away. Okay, so I'm going to show you just a couple of these. I'm going to take you in a little bit deeper. What's really cool is you can go in here and you can check the insights on all of these. It will show you a little bit more, about the ad and like the type of people that you got. So it shows you here the Facebook likes, how much engagement, how many reactions, how many people clicked on a link within there. You can even see, I want you to kind of see this too, like this particular um, ad, you can see here more women than men liked this ad. Now, some of these that I have, I'll show you, there were more men that liked the ad than women. So you'll notice that, depending on what you create, you're going to notice a difference between men and women liking, what you've created. So I'm going to show you here this particular ad. Remember, this one attracted more women. So what I wrote in the ad was, have you been wanting to finally learn about investing in 2025? We're a personal finance community learning about building wealth more easily. We discuss topics such as long-term investing and all things money. Come join us to learn and share about investing. Okay. Now you can see this is what I created in Canva, free financial literacy group. And I show them, this is actually something that I created that was a demonstration of how people start off as spenders and how they end up as investors at the end of like learning more about finances and investing. And so you can see here that I show them just this is a very small piece of that creative that I created. This is probably a third of the picture, the entire picture that I created. But I took this little snapshot, this little piece, and showed people. Here you start with a consumer's mind and you start becoming aware of your spending. You take your power back with your money. You become more positive with your income and really learning. And then you shift into this investor's mind and having that kind of mindset. And then I have a little join today, almost like a button that, looks clickable, but they would click on this or they would click on the follow button here, and that would take them to signing up for, this free group. They would end up following right away and becoming a follower in this group if they click on this. So you can see here that there's just so much here that you can check out. Like you can change the audience size, you can change your budget. There's so many things here that you can, work on within this. And so I want to show you one more example. I'm going to go in and just show you one of the ones that was, I think, more attracted to men, just so you can see the difference. And it was the one that was the Facebook cover image. And so that one ended up, and I could probably tell, you can tell, based on like sometimes the colors that are in the ad, the branding that you've created, it sometimes makes sense. When you look at it, you're like, okay, that's definitely why, more women, because if you remember that ad I just showed you, it was little clip art images of women, right, that were spending, and then they became more aware of their spending, and then they became investors as they became more aware of about money and budgeting and like how they could be taking their power back with their money and using it for good. So you see a little image of a woman there, right? So of course, probably more women are going to be attracted to that ad. So these are the little things to think about when you're creating something in Canva, to really keep that in mind. When you're using the clip art, when you're using colors, some things are just going to be more attracted to different demographics of people. So you can see here, this one actually really got attracted to men, and it was really high in this like 35 to 44, 45 to 54 range, which makes sense. Like if you think about people who would be interested in investing, a lot of men are very interested in investing and working with their money, and people especially who are working mid, young to mid age, I would say. And so you can start to see here that it really gives you a lot of insight, into your clients, your potential customers, your ideal client, even. If you're not sure about that, running ads is a great way to start testing that out. And you can see just by changing some colors or changing some graphics that you can attract one group or the other all in the same group. Okay. So if you feel like your group is getting too like male heavy, you can go into Canva with intention and create an ad or little graphic that has women in it, or has more soft colors in it or something, and boost that, and you'll get more women, coming into the group. So you can play with this, all right, to see like what thing works. I want to show you this ad just so you get an idea. This was the one that Facebook ended up saying, "Hey, do you want us to create an ad for you to get more follows?" And I said, "Sure, go ahead, make it." Um, and so what it did was it asked me like, again, what do you want to say in the ad? And I wrote this is the same exact wording that was in the other ad. So pay attention to this too. You can use something like this over and over and over again. You don't have to think too hard here, okay? Just say, again, we're going back to the basics. Say what it does and just be very clear about it. Don't mess around with people. Just say what it does. People's attention spans are so small right now. So just go ahead and play with the same wording, but then change the image and see what happens. And you can see here, this is just that cover photo from the top of my Facebook page. And we have it going to a button that is the follow button. You can change that. You can have different types of buttons here. Now, Facebook had already designed this and said, okay, we want, to help you get more followers. So they already have that button in play. Now, when you do create your ad, you'll have the option of creating it to go to follows, to have likes, to go to a link in particular that you want. Okay, so but you can see here, it's just that image that I created and put at the cover as the cover of my Facebook page. Once again, you can pick your audience, and I chose to do their Advantage Plus audience, which just goes out there. They use their algorithms and their technology to help find the most ideal people. So what it does is as soon as this goes out, and if particular people start clicking, it will find more people like that, and it will start sending it to that group of people right away, which might be why, men got attracted to this ad, and then it just started sending it to more of that group of people. Okay, so it'll just keep repeating it because it wants you to have success, with it. But you can choose to target to a particular type of demographic if you want to. You can even pick the area. I just stick with the United States. Sometimes I do expand it out and go to other parts of the world. But what I do with my investing course has a lot to do with just our stock market here in the US. So I've just narrowed it down, to that. But you can broaden it out. You can go to the entire world. You can go to particular countries if you want. That's also a trick. A way that you can get followers for cheaper is to pick other countries, because Facebook tends to charge more for countries like the US and the UK. So that's also something to know. If you just wanted to get your follower count up, more for looks in your group, you could do that. You could have, you could pay a cheaper price, right, by going to a different demographic. But know also that who you get in your group, you're also warming up. So if you're going to make the investment, I would say probably be intentional and pick the people, that group of people that you want to be speaking to that could become buyers for you. I feel like that to me makes more sense. But I do understand some people just want to have like it look like they have followers to get more people to follow the page. Because if you think about it, if someone comes to your Facebook group page and they see that you only have 3 followers, they might be like, that's kind of a small group, But if you have like 1,000 people in the group, they're going to be like, hey, okay, they've got some followers here. Maybe I'll try, I'll go ahead and get in. So you can see here, again, you can pick the price, whatever you want to pay, to go ahead and like try out the ad. But I just want to show you guys some of those examples just so you could see, what you can do with ads. I do love that you can see it all, and you can compare right here, which is really nice. So you can spend a little time, spend a day creating some different graphics and different ads. You can even use photos if you like. People are getting into faceless, using faceless videos and photos. You can do that. So play with it and see, start comparing these numbers and see what works for you. But yes, I just wanted to give you that as an example, and show you the inside, the back, like kind of the dashboard, inside of Facebook. It's not much different in Instagram. Instagram has its own platform for ads as well, and you can just boost right from, some of your posts that are doing well. And you can also create, ads as you desire inside of Instagram. But just know, for you to be able to create ads in Facebook, you do need to have a separate page. I think it's still the case that you can't create ads from your main page on Facebook. So you will need to either create a group, or like a side page, and that will be linked to your main account, to your main Facebook profile. But just know that you do need to create that separate group. And so this is how a lot of people get started. If you're, let's say you're creating a course for, I did, right? For investing or fitness, whatever the topic is. If you're creating a course, creating this side page in Facebook is a great way to start creating community and to also have people coming in, you know. So for this particular course that I've created, I have its own Facebook page for the course members, and then I have the club page that is more for people who are interested, in getting into investing, but maybe haven't decided yet. And so I use this page, the club page, as the one that I'm testing out ads in and having people join. I'm warming people up in that page, and then I'm having them buy my products. And once they buy that course, let's say, then I'm having them go to the other page, the Facebook page that is just for the people who have purchased the course. So there's two Facebook pages there. Okay. There's the one for the actual course members, and then there's the club, right? And so you can do it that way, or you can do it any way you want. You can have everyone going into one if you want to. Just be aware that, like, if you're going to have people paying for a course, you're probably going to want to have that group. In my mind, I want to have that group separate because they have paid for the course. And so I'm going to give them probably more information. I'm probably going to treat them a little bit better. I'm going to go in and do lives with them that are just geared towards that course, right? I wouldn't want to give that information away to the people in the club. I just want to tell them why. Again, we go back to the why and the how. I just want to tell them why it would be important for them to invest. The people in the course are going to go to a Facebook page and learn about how to do this investing, right? That's why I'm giving them more detail in that page. So hopefully that gives you some ideas about, like, additional things that you can be doing to get more traffic really quickly. And I highly encourage you to try out boosting some posts right away, right when you start either your Facebook page, your Instagram, your TikTok, your YouTube, whatever it is. Go ahead and invest a little bit of money to see if you're able to get people right away over into, your space, and to start introducing them to what you have to share and see if you're able to get some traction right away. This is a great way to test out and see, like, okay, is this product viable? Like, and if it isn't, go to the next product, right? Like, it's something that you can test out and see if there's interest in even before you create products. So you could warm up, an audience and have an audience there and start interacting with them and see if there's some interest for a different product that you want to create, a new product. So there's so many things you can do with this. Just, know what your goal is, and then go for it and create a couple of ads, and then test out and experiment and see what the results are. And I promise you, you're going to, like, be so excited when you start to see the results, because for me with ads, there's always some kind of traction right away. If I make that little investment, I always see that there's some kind of, like, great result from it. All right, so I highly encourage you to do it. Go ahead and try it out and see what happens for yourself.